Welcome to this 10-minute dynamic yoga flow warm-up. You won't need any equipment for today, just yourself and a mat or a soft surface beneath you. I'll see you on the mat in child's pose. We'll start in child's pose, sinking your hips back towards the mat, resting on your heels, perhaps resting your forehead on the mat, arms extended out in front, or you might like to have them down by your sides. Taking a few moments to settle into the body. When you're ready, we'll inhale, coming up onto all fours into a tabletop position, Barmanasana. Ensuring that the hips are in line with the knees, squared to the front of the mat, and the wrists are in line with the shoulders. Shoulders are rolled back and down. We'll flow through cat and cow. Exhale, tucking the chin towards the chest. Inhale, scooping the chest forward, broadening across the collarbones. A nice and gentle movement, warming up the back, the shoulders, the arms, the neck. Finding space, beginning to create an awareness of all of the interconnected systems at play. Finding stability, connected to the ground, connected to the earth. And from here we'll root our left leg into the ground as we tuck our right toes under and extend our right leg back, ensuring that the hips stay squared. Inhale, float the right leg up, drawing the heel back, engaging that leg. Feeling the activation in the quads, in the glutes. Perhaps tenting up on the left fingertips. You might like to extend the left arm out in front of you. Playing with the balance. Flowing with the breath. And from here we'll transition into a bird dog crunch. On our inhale we'll extend, and exhale, curl and crunch our right knee towards our left elbow. You can go as slow or as fast as you like here. Just really work on maintaining an even distribution of weight across the body, not collapsing into that right wrist. And we'll come back down to tabletop. One round of cat and cow to clear it out. Grounding down through the right leg, we'll go on the left, tucking the back toes, extending the left leg, engaging the leg. And when you're ready, inhale and begin to gently float the left leg up. Heel is drawing the leg towards the back of the room as the crown of the head draws you forward, finding length along the posterior chain. Working on squaring those hips, perhaps tenting up onto the right fingertips. You might like to extend the arm out in front, playing around with balance. Being mindful to use all of your fingertips and the knuckles of the left hand to evenly distribute that weight and support your body. And on our inhale, we'll extend. Exhale, come into a bird dog crunch on the left side. Exhale, joining the right elbow with the left knee. Flowing with the breath. Twice more. And transitioning back into tabletop. One round of cat and cow as we transition into tiger posture. Inhale, we'll float the right leg up, flexing at the knee. Foot is flexed. As we exhale, we'll reach around with our left arm, grabbing onto the lateral edge of our right foot, working on broadening across the collarbones, a lovely heart opening stretch. Be mindful not to collapse into the lower back here. We want to be creating space, lengthening, lifting up, and exhale back down. One round of cat and cow, and we'll go to tiger on the other side. When you're ready, floating the left leg up towards the sky, flexing the knee, flexing the foot, using the right arm to grab onto the lateral edge of the left foot, stretching the front of those shoulders, expanding across the chest. Be mindful to maintain core activation, drawing the navel towards the spine, finding a balance, and coming back to tabletop. One round of cat and cow. And from here we will push up into downward dog. So lifting the hips up, heels are drawing towards the mat. You might like to have a bend in the knees if your hamstrings are feeling particularly tight. Really work on extending those arms, grounding down through the palms, the fingers, the knuckles. Perhaps walking out the dog and being mindful of that core activation. Again, we want to protect our back here. You might find a nice warm up and stretch for the calf muscles. And slowly, foot by foot, we will walk up to the front of the mat, coming into a forward fold, bending the knees here. You might like to come into a ragdoll position, clasping the hands on either arm, allowing the head to hang heavy. Or if it's in your practice, you might like to place the palms underneath the feet, allowing you to find a little bit more length and more space. And on our inhale, we'll come up into a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold, bending at the knees. One more fold. This time coming up one vertebra at a time into Tadasana. Inhale, extend the arms overhead. Exhale, lower to heart center. Taking a moment to ground ourselves in Tadasana, ensuring that there's an even distribution of weight across the feet. On our inhale, we're going to rise up onto our toes. And on our exhale, we're going to lower onto our heels, lifting the toes up off the ground, flowing with the breath. This is a great warm-up for the calves, the legs, the ankles. Once more. And this time we will interlace our fingers, extend our arms overhead and stay up on our toes. Heels lifted. Breathe. Maintaining that activation. Squeeze a little more, a little higher. Exhale, gently float the arms back down as we lift the toes up off of the ground. This is a great posture for anyone with flat feet or collapsed arches. Come into this when you feel that you could do with a little bit more stability in any standing postures. Okay, rolling the shoulders back, interlacing our fingers together, we will come into hip and knee flexions. So flowing with the breath, raise the right knee, lower it back down. Inhale, raise the left leg back down. Once more, and this time we are going to keep a similar movement, but we'll be working on internal and external hip rotations. So a slight scoop of the leg as we rotate that hip and the knee out to the side, grounding down through the left leg, activating the quads, the glutes, maintaining that neutral arch, finding the support, perhaps finding a steady gaze. And we'll go on the other side, so grounding down through the right leg, internal and external hip rotations on the left. If you'd like to test your balance, you might like to play around with the eyes closed and see how that works for you. Once more, standing back in Tadasana, roll the shoulders back and down. Here we will transition into Utkatasana chair pose. On our inhale, we are going to sink our hips back as though we're sitting into a chair, really working on grounding down through the heels. Chest is expanded and coming back to center, and this time we will try again with our legs together, a slightly more intense variation of the posture. Really work on squeezing the inner thighs together as you sink those hips back, trying to keep the knees behind the toes, perhaps looking down to ensure that you can see your knees, your toes. And if you find this to be a little bit challenging, perhaps lifting the toes up off the floor, that'll help you maintain that natural arch. Arms are away from ears, neck is long, navel drawing towards the spine. One more breath. And coming back to Tadasana, rolling the shoulders back and down. Inhale, extend the arms overhead. Exhale, lower them to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me for this 10-minute dynamic warm-up. Namaste.